Another little quick farm tip. You ever worked on and changed over from 6 volt to 12 volt, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. These There's a problem with these alternators. If Especially for a farm all right, you got a bunch of different options here that you can do. The major number one problem is these are not self-exciting alternators, meaning that they do not start charging once it starts turning. So this excites it, makes it charge. Get the light from it. Let me see if I can. You watch that. That little arc. All right. That little arc. Now I've never dissected one of these. I don't know 100% sure. I think this is plugged into the regulator, and what you're really doing is you're turning your regulator on and off. Well, the problem is with these Super A 100, 130, and the early 140s. If you have a key switch on your 140, it's not a problem. If you have the newer style with the key switch, it's not a problem, because you can just wire that alternator, that regulator plug into your key switch. See, I got the old style. Mine's pull start with a handle, like a Super A, a 100, and a 130. All right, the problem is with these, I done closed my battery box now. I don't want to pull my top off my battery box every time to pull my battery cable off. What happened is that alternator will sit here. See that little arc on that wire? That alternator will sit here and drain your battery. So if you have one with a key switch on it, it's not a problem. Just wire it into your switch to turn it off. I thought about hooking mine into my headlight switch, and it'll charge when I need to turn it on. I turn the headlight switch on. Because the very first A's, not the Super A, the A's, they had some sort of switch on them. You turn the switch on and off to make them charge. You didn't have a voltage regulator. You had to manually turn the generator on and off. But what I did, instead of having this noticeable ugly extra switch here, and I didn't want it up here looking crazy packed, because I had a toggle switch here. I was walking around it trying to find somewhere to put this switch at. It won't be too noticeable. I did not want it here, because that's very noticeable. Everybody, what's that switch for? What's that switch? You tell me it's your alternator switch. You look at you. Wow, you got this whole thing rigged up, huh? But simple, easy solution to this. If you don't have your battery box closed in, it's not that bad. What I do with the Super A, I just pull the battery cable off. You can buy a self-exciting alternator, but they're 3 to 4 times more than just a regular automotive alternator from O'Reilly's. This is a Chevrolet one pole, one wire alternator. Delco Remy, I believe it is. I brought one for the Super A at O'Reilly's for $50. Now you can get a self-exciting alternator. That's what a lot of people buy, meaning it don't have to have an exciter wire going to the regulator. I think that's a regulator. They never dissected these. But you got to have an exciter wire going to the regulator to make it start charging. A self-exciting means it starts charging as soon as it turns over. Those are really expensive. I mean, if you're just an occasional gardener like me, use this thing certain times of the year, $50, and you can buy one on Sunday. You can buy these on Sunday, AutoZone, Vance Auto, get you back rolling same day. And they're open late. Most of your auto parts open at 9 o'clock, 7 days a week at night. All right, easy solution to this. The problem is with a farm all that you don't have an on and off key switch too. You can simply put this on with these little alligator clips. You got to walk around it. You check your oil, check your antifreeze and all that. When you're walking around it, checking everything on it before you start it, just walk around here and just hook that little clip on there. You see that little arc? It's a little arc there. See that? It's a little bitty arc. That little bit of draw will kill your battery over a few days. Just hook that on there like that, on the end of the threads. That's it. Cut it off. I cut my gas off every time. Walk back around here. Let's see. Boop. Just like that. Use a black ground one. Nobody holler, walk, and look at it and notice it. I just didn't want to switch on it. I didn't want to drill no hole in my dash up here and put no switch on it that anybody knows what they're looking at. Know that switch don't supposed to be there. And you can't wire it through this switch right here, this little on and off switch, because what's going to happen if you wire this through your on and off switch, the engine isn't going to cut off. The alternator is going to keep powering the distributor if you try to run it through the on and off switch. So key switch has got a separate pole on a key switch that it will still, where you could still cut the power off to the distributor, and it'll cut the power off to that, the alternator. But I say, if you don't have a battery box, it's not a problem. Just reach up there and turn it off. That's what Granddaddy did with the a Master Ferguson 35 for years and years and years. They just reach, when you get off of it, just pull the battery cable off. I wanted my box enclosed in, so I didn't want to take my top off my box. I wanted my battery cables good and tight, and we had to plumb with them every time. But that's an easy solution. Come off with your exciter wire and just put a battery, put a little alligator clip on it, just like that. Just hook it on it. When you're walking around, checking your oil and your antifreeze and everything before you take off with it, just hook your little clip on there. And you'll notice it if you ain't got it hooked up, because if you ain't got it hooked up when you start it, your gauge will be either at 0 or any negative discharging. When you got it plugged up, it buries over here on the plus till it charges. And once it charges the battery, it'll slowly go back to 0. But that's the easy, simple solution to it. If you got your battery box turned in, you get your battery box closed up, and you don't have, if you got the older one that does not have an on and off switch, because that is a problem. That, like I said, you can get a self-exciting alternator, but them things are expensive. I want to say they're around $200, $240 from Steiner for a self-exciting alternator. But if you have a scrap one laying around, like a Hitachi or something, whatever works. These old style Delco Remy Automotive alternators, these are on and off. I think that's a regulator, 2 voltage regulator. You need an on and off. I looked around, I had this toggle switch under here somewhere, but I was thinking, I'm overthinking this. Just put a little alligator clip on it. Simple, easy peasy. Like simple, easy peasy. So it got dirty out here with all this pollen on it. But anyway, we've done some headlight changes, and I'm running through these wires one more time. But cut another video on some more electrical stuff.